Okay. We should be back. Yeah, there we go. We're back.
You're back.
Okay. This was not a gathering problem. This was an iCloud Facebook issue. Come on, Facebook. Hold on, let me get the sun out my face.
Are we back on YouTube? Because I don't.
Yeah, we should be everywhere.
Okay, I got it. Found it.
Yes, we are. All right, well, let's give the good people an opportunity to come back. Oh, darn it.
And as you come back in the room, you can just put your questions and comments in there.
Yes, we're so sorry about that. But this one was out of our control. So come on back in. We're going to give you a few moments to come back, everybody. To come back in the room for our talk back to the text. Olivia, Ivy, Margaret, we see you. Miss Diana, Latoya. Ooh, Latoya put her question in the box already. Shayla, thank you all for coming back. We're going to give the folk a few more minutes to get back on. You can do all you can do, and it's not up to us sometimes what happens, what social media does, what technology does, but we got to learn to pivot. And so that's what we did, and we are back, and we hope that you will come back to so we can address some of the questions. All right. Well, Camila, you want to get on the first question?
Sure.
It's from Latoya Thompson.
Latoya says, I noticed that in the John 8 text, it says that Christ spoke to those which believed on him. Yep. I did not notice from previously reading it that Christ spoke to a specific group and he called them disciples. It seems that Christ had an awareness that not all were set to the truth. That part. And I just feel like, yeah, really nothing I can say to that. That's absolutely true. And I think that's even as we live with it today, it's going to be some people who are just not going to be interested in the truth.
That's true.
Yeah, they just going to stick to what they want to do, even if it's not accurate or true.
Some people only want to know what they already know.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Exactly. But I know on the last one, before we got disconnected, and I hope Namo is back, his question to you was, how do we catch a thief?
Woo! How do we catch a thief? That's a great question, Namo. How do we catch a thief? I think one of the ways we catch a thief is in the first thought that I offered, right? In recognizing that one exists, right? Because if you're walking around, if you're living in a delusional way and thinking that there is no thief, however you want to describe that thief, right? For the purposes of this sermon, I describe the thief as the thief of white supremacy, right? So it's recognizing that there is a thief, that it does exist. And then when you are aware that one exists, it's also important to understand the characteristics of a thief, right? Mm-hmm. What does it look like? How do you know when the thief is showing up, right? You have to understand and you have to know, you have to read, become familiar with what a thief looks like, characteristics of a thief, how it shows up in certain places. And then you can strategize, right, on how to catch a thief, on how to expose the thief for what a thief is. But it involves recognition. It involves an awareness of the thief and characteristics of a thief, right? And then that's how you strategize to catch the thief.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So
Going
let's see.
back. Olivia said, "So glad your mama knew you and protected you by taking you out of that class." Absolutely, and I do want to speak to that. How important it is for us to listen to our children and watch our children, and not just our biological children, the kids who are in our community, to make sure that listen to them, because sometimes they really are telling us some stuff, and they have experiences, and we need to be able to support them.
That's right.
So I think that's very important. Yeah, but she had the wrong one that day. Well, actually, she had the right one.
Yes, she should have. That's right. She had the right one. Olivia wants you to speak more to the isness.
Ooh, yeah, and it's so funny, Olivia, because last night when we went with Dr. Harrison, she was talking about the isness too, right? She mentioned the isness, like just the all parts of our lives, the real day to day, every part, the depths of our life, but not just the depths, the simple parts of our life that I just think we really need to be thinking about our complete lives. But Dr. Town, because the what I talked about, the quote I had from Woman in Scientology is actually Emily Towns. I can't remember the article. I have to tell you that later, where she talks about this a little bit more. But we really got to be concerned about the isness of our bodies, our spirits, just the whole part of our whole life. Like, we sometimes look over the mundane, which is actually important. Mm-hmm. The mundane parts of our life can be very important.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm actually, Olivia, I'm gonna give you that article too.
Latoya says, Dr. Irie, you said that if a person will not see the thief, then they are lying to themselves. Those that won't hear truth, like Reverend Camila said, are in cahoots and in bed with the thief. And sometimes, Latoya, people can be in bed with the thief or in cahoots with the thief and not realize that they are, right? There is that kind of delusion, right? That when you are blind, and some people are intentionally blind. Some people don't want to know, right? Some people are comfortable in their ignorance, right? They're comfortable with not knowing, right? They're comfortable because they don't have to deal with the realities that come with knowing that there is a thief, right? Because knowing that there is a thief means you have to do some things or not, right? And either decision is going to say something about you and your relationship with your God, right?
Yeah.
And so some people would rather not know or act like they don't know. But when you ignore, when you act like you don't know, or delude yourself into thinking there is no thief, then you are co-signing, you are giving the thief access, right, to you, to other people, and you are giving the thief power to what Jesus said. The thief comes to do what? Seek, to kill, destroy, right? You're giving the thief permission and access to do those things, right?
Do you think sometimes, though, Doctor, not though, but do you think, because I agree with everything you said, that it's just, it's a, I ain't gonna say it's a cop out, but it's just so much easier because there's no work required.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it's easy on you.
I wonder, is it laziness? Is it? I'm really thinking about this. Like, is it? Because I recognize that some people it's not an intentional thing. Like, some people don't know because this is all that they, But then some people, like you said, they just don't want to know. And I'm wondering if I put laziness to that. This is me just thinking out loud. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think there are those, Camila, I agree with you. I do think there are those who don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Who don't want to do the work of reading for themselves.
Yeah.
Of equipping themselves to deal with the thief, to deal with the realities of the kind of world that the thief has created, and that people are navigating because of the thieves thieving ways, right? So it's easy on them. It's comfortable. And we get lazy when we're comfortable, don't we?
It's easy.
Because
Yes, yes.
come on now, how many times have we just been sitting around and we just come, I don't want to get up. I don't want to do nothing, right? And so it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Let's see. Reverend Tracy says, okay. Reverend Tracy says, I find
I'm just gonna send everybody. I'm not on my personal computer. I just drop it in. I'll be telling y'all what it is now. But okay, because everybody wants the article. I'm gonna make sure y'all get the article. Okay. Those who were in the cohort, I have Dr. Irie send it to her, and then Tracy, I'll send it to you.
Okay. Now, Reverend Camila, it's 6:57 right now.
I know.
Are you okay with going over a little bit since we got kicked out of
After
Facebook?
I just got through talking about how we stay on an hour and blah blah blah, I'm gonna eat them words for 5 minutes.
But it was not our fault. We could have been finished, right? It was not our fault. So she says, I find my thoughts engaged in so many directions by both of y'all's sermons, and I feel like they dovetail so wonderfully because we need not only to embrace a womanist ontology, it leads us to imagine that world of abundance and flourishing in defiance of the thief and his minions. P.S. I need that article Reverend Camille was talking about. Yes, very good. Silence gives access. Absolutely. Hey, who said that? Your silence will not save you?
That would be Audre Lorde.
Audre Lorde? Yes.
Sitting up on my wall right now.
Possible fear that uncovers our agreement with the things in something. Yeah. What else? Well, doing the work then adds responsibility to be present and call out and work through the issues. Absolutely, Margaret.
Right.
Yes. Or not. Right?
Exactly.
Because you have a choice. And your choice will say something about your faith, your level of spirituality. Do you really care about people? Right? Do you really want to be like Jesus? Right? So it's going to say something about who you are on the inside either way.
Yep. Michelle Horton, she asked me, did you feel supported by that teacher prior to that moment, or was this in a complete surprise? I was really taken off. I was really kind of caught off guard. It wasn't like I felt like this wasn't like one of my favorite teachers or anything like that, but I mean, she seemed decent enough, so it really did kind of blindside me. We can joke about stuff, but you know how you have just like this lady crazy when you're, when teachers and stuff like that when you're kids, and so she seemed a little, but I didn't see that coming. I really didn't.
That's right. Yeah, Olivia says, Daphne says some people don't, I guess, want to acknowledge it because they don't want to do the work. Yeah, that's right. They really don't. And they won't tell themselves the truth, right? Let's just be honest. I preached a sermon one time called I Just Don't Want To, right? Just say it. You just don't want to.
I mean, because sometimes it's also difficult to accept the truth. I remember I love Ted Lasso. It's a show. One thing he said, the truth will piss you off. First, the doctor said, first the truth will piss you off, and then you can deal it, right? But the truth really can piss you off.
Yes.
And or it can also, to a certain point, hurt your feelings, and depending on what the truth is. If I'm, the truth can be hurtful because, especially when it is deconstructing everything, like stuff or deconstructing stuff that you have held onto for your whole life. This is what I have known to be, and to now say that this ain't for real.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And so it can also be, and it is also about integrity.
Exactly.
Yes. Latoya says, I love how you both mentioned our bodies. I love that too. That happens sometimes, Latoya. We just be so insane. She says, I was so disconnected from my body. The journey to embodiment has been challenging and healing. Ashe. Margaret says, that is good. So do you believe that people don't do the work because they don't want to have a choice?
Because if I say I don't have a choice, that makes it a lot easier too, though.
You know, Margaret, I think there are all kinds of reasons
Mm-hmm.
that people don't do the work, that people don't want to do the work. I wouldn't just limit it to, you know, one or two. There are any number of reasons, or you could say excuses. I don't know. There are any number of reasons why people don't want to accept the reality, why people are still saying, I don't see color. There is too much written. There's too much art. There are too many articles. There are too many books. There's just too much information. So you're not reading none of that.
No. Well, in some places it may be illegal for you to read it. Let's be honest.
Let's just talk about the United States of America.
Huh?
Let's just talk about.
No, I'm talking about in the United States of America. Florida has outlawed.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Just saying.
Come on now.
But
Yeah.
Michelle Horton, she said that's what she was trying to say. I lost it. That's what I was trying to say. It could be a fear of finding out who you are instead of who you think you are.
Yes, that's good. So denial, right? It could be about denial, right?
Mm-hmm.
Refusing to. I don't want to. I don't want to, because you know maybe on the you really do know who you are. You really do know. You really do know that you're a coward. Right? You know that. But you don't want to face it. You don't want to say it. Right?
Yeah. That's true.
Shayla says, yes, Latoya, the thief lie says that we don't own our bodies, not even the right to rest them or give them joy and fun. That's right.
Exactly. Exactly, Shayla.
Absolutely. That's right.
Well, I don't think we have any more questions. Doesn't look like. We want to thank everybody for hanging in with us, even through the mishaps. You know, y'all came right on back. We love y'all. So we hope to see those who have joined us for the first time. We hope to see you back here at the gathering. Next week, we will have one of our own because Dr. Irie and I will be going on a preaching sabbatical. I'm going to say that again. Preaching sabbatical, because we are still doing the work, but we are not preaching for the month of August. And so our own Reverend Tracy will be our preacher on next Saturday. It will be virtual. We would love to have you here at 6 p.m. for another worship service. But on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will have our weekly prayer call. Our own Reverend Winter, our Minister of Congregational Care, will lead our prayer call. If you go to thegatheringexperience.com on the calendar page, you will see that flyer and you can click the link and come right on in the room. We have a good time. It is a time of building community for ministry partners all over the country. We celebrate, we talk, but we lift up people's prayer concerns. If you cannot make it but would like us to pray for something, you have a prayer concern, please let us know and we will definitely do that. Love to see your face in the square. It is not just for ministry partners. Anybody who wants to join in and be in community, you are welcome. Also, I don't know what's the next. Oh, I know what this. There we go. So you can put 5 on it. Yes. So coming up is our 5-year anniversary. We are so excited. We are planning for a weekend of events for our ministry partners, and we are praying and hoping that ministry partners, because again, we got ministry partners in 11 different states. We want as many of them as possible to come back. Well, not come back, come here and join us for in-person worship for that weekend. We have a grant. First of all, before I do the fund, we wrote a grant. We got a few funds to help a couple people. So if you are interested in coming, but it is financially a strain, please let us know and we will try to work on getting you here. But we're also asking everybody to put 5 on it on our ministry partner in celebration of us doing 5, of having 5 years, but also to help us put on a great weekend. And when we say put 5 or 5 in any denomination you want to help us to keep this, help us have a great, I'm losing my words, anniversary weekend. Next flyer, Dr. Irie. If you are interested in becoming a ministry partner, I know we had conversations with some of the sisters today at the Preacher Institute. If you are interested in being a ministry partner, our ministry, we do not have members at the gathering. we have ministry partners because we believe we are partnering in this to work together. Our ministry partners are all over the country. They attend worship regularly. They give to support the ministry, and they use their gifts in all types of ways within our community. If you would like to be a ministry partner, please let us know. Just go to thegatheringexperience.com and fill out the form. We would love to have you. But I also want to mention, we don't just partner with individuals. We also partner with other churches, other organizations. So
That's
ministry
right.
partnership could take on a lot of different forms. Just let us know. And finally, there are 4 or 5 ways you can give to support the gathering. You can give on Givelify, Cash App, PayPal. You can mail a check to the church. And if you want easy access, just point your phone to the QR code on the screen and it'll bring you right up. Your giving keeps us going. Dr. Irie, I think I got them all, didn't I?
You did. And I keep saying, Camila, I'm going to create a graphic that from that quote you say, your giving keeps us going. Remind me to do that. Remind me to do that.
But I also want to say thank you to all the women who joined us this weekend for the Teresa Fry Brown Preaching and Worship Leadership Institute. It was phenomenal. We had Dr. Renee K. Harrison last night, and she was heavy. And then we had because we partnered with the Circle, and we had the Circle of Sacred Fire. And we had Dr. Kelly Farrell, who did 2 of our workshops this morning, and we just had a good time, and we are looking forward to building the first Gathering Circle cohort of women and seeing where that is going to lead.
Yes. All right. Am I doing the closing prayer?
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. God, our divine mother, we thank you so much for loving us, for covering us, for taking care of us, for being present in our lives. God, we thank you so much for this weekend and all the beautiful people who shared this space with us, who made themselves available to grow and learn and connect with each other and get closer to you. God, we thank you so much for Dr. Renee K. Harrison and just the incredible historian that she is, and just her passion and her love for your people. We thank you so much for Reverend Kelly Farrow and just her excitement and her energy and love of teaching, and for every woman who came and shared the space with us. God, be with us this week. Be with those among us who tomorrow have to preach and share a word. Give them Holy Ghost power that we, because Lord, I'm preaching tomorrow too, that we can stand boldly and proclaim the truth, even if it's difficult for people to hear, that we will have courage and confidence to share your word in however you give it to us. We love you. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Peace, everybody.
Have a great week.